Okay, this is English 201, week 14, part 1. Okay, so this is strange. The classes, I don't even know whether it's worth explaining this or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. The when the online classes that I filmed were filmed um, was that in the middle of the spring semester of 2020, we were told COVID is a thing. You have to go home and make stuff for your students at home. So I did that. And then I thought I would just use that the one time and we'd be back in the fall of 2020. And then we weren't. So I had to film some more stuff. But of course, because we were left in the middle of the spring semester, I only had the second half of the semester. So then in the fall of 2020, I had to film the first half of the semester. Um, uh, and then in the, and it is, so the point is that the middle half of the class, the middle units 3 and 4 were filmed a whole semester before units 1 and 2. This right now is being filmed after that. So essentially it's if you chronological order, it's like the middle part, it's like units 3 and 4. The Othello and the Tempest stuff from units 3 and 4 um, was filmed in the spring of 2020. And then the Kafka material was filmed like in the fall. And now it's the spring again of a different year, and I'm making this final video. And I wish I could had a good reason for this. Basically, I don't know how to say this. Basically, like it's hard to if I pick something like Kafka, I want to try to say I have a bunch of stuff I want to say about it. But like, I don't know in advance exactly how many videos that's going to be. And so BMCC needs me to make like 14 weeks worth of videos. But then I was like, okay, so I filmed the Kafka stuff and the Tempest stuff and the Othello stuff. And I was like, I'm only at 13 weeks. So like, I kind of owe the university and you another week of lectures, but I don't have anything in particular to do. Like, it would have been nice if like I could have had one more week's worth of lectures about the Tempest. Like I could have done an additional week on the Tempest, but like I kind of ran out of stuff to. I said what I wanted to say about that. Um, so this is just kind of a. I don't know. I basically owe you and the university a 14th week of lectures, so I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to do it about a bunch of random stuff that's related to class, but it's sort of outside of the units, it's not about the Tempest, it's not about Othello, it's not about Kafka, it's not about the Phoenix and the Turtle. I'm sure you guys have heard enough about those. So this is just like a additional thing we're doing for one more week of school, just to continue to do the same stuff that we always do. Because the point of this, a lot of people take this class with me, and they think the point of the class is that they should care about Kafka and they should care about Shakespeare. And that's actually not the point of the class. The point of the class is you should be able to look at works of art in terms of summary, which everybody does already, but metaphor, irony, and theme. That's the stuff that people don't do. And that's what the class is for. Most people, when they go to the movies, talk about it in terms of summary. Oh shit, wasn't that crazy when this happened? Oh, I remember when he did that? That was so great. Oh, Captain America got Thor's hammer and then he threw it at Thanos. And like, that's summary. That's what people are doing when they do that. And questions like, could the Flash outrun Superman? Right? That's a summary question. It's like about the world of the story and the characters in it. Um, the point of this class is metaphor, irony, and theme. I mean, I mentioned sound. We don't really use sound much, but metaphor, irony, and theme are sort of at the center of this class. I just picked some stuff to practice on. I picked The Tempest and Othello and Kafka. I could have picked other things. Other teachers would have picked other things. But I just pick shit I like. And so this week, I just want to do the same thing we've been doing, except I'm just going to look at other stuff and talk about some other kind of related issues. And I think it's just going to, also, by the way, I probably should have had a plan before I put the camera on, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to make it up as I go along. And I have a bunch of things on the coffee table I can kind of think about to talk about. So anyway, that's what's happening with this final week of lectures. Before I get started talking about metaphor, irony, and theme and other things, I thought it's probably useful to kind of review what you need to do. Since this is like the last lecture, let's sort of review what you need to do for the sort of end of the semester. Okay. Oh, and by the way, you can see I'm filming in. You've seen so many locations because your class was filmed like in my backyard in Brooklyn, and then also at my parents' house, and then also I feel like inside my Brooklyn house, and maybe there was stuff at the park. I don't know. And now I moved, So I live in a totally different place now. So anyway, you've seen a lot of different locations. So, and I got, it's a good outfit too. I got a good, you can't really see it, but it's got these weird things in the hands. Anyway. So yeah, let's do a basic review of what you need to get done. So this semester only has it's 5 assignments. There's 5 assignments total. You got to make 20 substantial discussion board comments. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. That's it. So let's go over those real quick to make sure we've got it. So substantial discussion board comments are comments on the discussion board where you give your opinion on something with reasons and examples. So in our class, that really should be saying, hey, here's a metaphor, and here's what's being compared to what and what they have in common, or here's an irony, here are the two things that contrast, or I noticed this theme, or I agree with this thing you said in the lecture, or because blah, 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 for example, blah, 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 or I disagree with that thing you said in the lecture because blah, 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 for example, blah, blah, blah. So that's the substantial discussion board comments. I let people know how many discussion board comments they had when I returned paper 2. Just to give a kind of mid-semester check-in, because it's students, I think, sometimes get confused about what counts as substantial and insubstantial. I need 20 substantial comments. So if you're just sort of writing a sentence, I'm happy you did that. I think that's a great idea, but that's probably not enough to be substantial. So if you're confused about how many substantial comments you have, email me and I'll let you know. Yeah, okay. So that's the 20 substantial board comments, the 20 substantial discussion board comments, and that's got to be on there by May 17th. That's kind of that's the last day of the semester. So that gives you like some time. That's like 2 weeks. So yeah, 20 substantial discussion board comments. If you don't know how many substantial discussion board comments you have, email me if you want to know. If you don't want to know what a substantial discussion board comment is, there's a discussion of it under assignments on the Blackboard tab. Okay, good. That was discussion board comments. Paper 1 was about Kafka, paper 2 was about Othello, and paper 3 was about The Tempest. So you should have done those papers. And I'm still working on grading the Tempest papers, but those are the first 3 assignments. You want to make sure you do those. Once I grade them and get them back to you, you have the option. I put some notes on there, comments about what you did and what you could do better. Things I liked, things I didn't like. Or usually it's things I liked and areas where you could expand. So I lost my train of thought. So I put the comments on there. Now, some students are doing all of school on their phone, which is, I imagine that's very difficult. But if you are, a lot of my students don't know there are comments on their papers, because on Blackboard, they give you like your paperback, but you got to like scroll over to the side to see my comments, I think. I've never been a student at BMCC, and I've never been a student using Blackboard, so I don't know, but that's my understanding of it. So that's paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. You should have done those already. If you haven't done them already, do them before May 17th. Some of your teachers refuse to accept late papers. I am not one of those people. I will totally accept late papers. So you just send it to me, and I'll look at it. I won't give you an A on it, but I'll take it. So give me your late papers. It's fine. Paper 1, 2, and 3. The other thing you can do is revise paper 1, 2, and 3, which means if you want the grade on paper 1, 2, and 3 to be higher, and nobody gets A's on first drafts in my classes. If you want A's or A minuses, or the highest grade you get on a first draft is a B. If you want the A, you got to get a B, and then you got to revise it, bump the grade up. If you want to revise those papers, please do get them to me by May 17th. So you can go to your papers and make changes and do what I asked you to do and get them to me. Earlier the better. If you turn them in on May 17th, I'll accept them. But usually it takes students a couple of tries to get everything looking the right way. So for example, I get a lot of things where students will turn in papers on, here's what I'm expecting. Students are going to turn papers in on May 17th. They're going to forget an MLA bibliography. They're just going to forget to do that, and then I'm not going to raise the grade, and then the semester's over. If you get it to me earlier, I can be like, hey, you forgot the MLA bibliography. Maybe do that and get it to me. So those are, 20 discussion board comments, do papers 1, 2, and 3, which you probably already did. Revise paper 1, 2, and 3 if you want to bump the grade up. The last thing is paper 4. I'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, yeah.